wherever you are. Welcome. It's a late edition of this live. The name being Let's Talk Health. Let's talk about our health. Yes? This live has been brought to you simultaneously on both my YouTube and TikTok platforms. I can be found on YouTube under the handle Adventures of Lescott, and TikTok Lescott Lescott.Charles. Yes? Hey Rodney Prick. Whoa, how is my greens? Good night, good night. How are you, brother? Marcia, thank you for joining. Welcome. Folks, just so you know, again, this live has been brought to you simultaneously on both YouTube and TikTok platforms. I would appreciate if you can just share with me, with us, where you're joining the live from. Interact, participate, share, like, subscribe. Ask any questions, yeah? Any questions, if I don't know, I'm going to endeavor to get information from you. So, how was your day, first of all? How was your day today? Man, it was a bit steamy today. Yes, just coming in from the cold day, it's a sort of a readjustment day for me of sorts. I'm thankful though that I don't have to wear the 3 and 4 layers that I was using during my stay up there, and then my nose began to run and what have you. Again, I must emphasize that there is no place like home. There is no place like home. Hey Shamal, I tried touching base with you, but there was no response. I heard nothing from you. Anyway, I'm going to touch base with you after. I was tempted to journey up, but then again, no response. I figure you go out, and I just didn't bother. Yeah, we deal with that on another platform. Don't go and sleep anywhere. Folks, yes. How was your day? How was your day today? Yes, it was a hectic one for me. Hectic in the sense that I'm trying to catch up with, work in-house and out of the house, and I realize, as one gets older, you have to try and think in terms of you not being able or will not always be able to do everything. Yeah. So at times you have to delegate. There is need to delegate. Yes. And so I have started realizing I have become, I've gotten to the point where I figure, some things, you just have to get professionals or get assistance. Yeah. I oftentimes figure that I can do everything myself, but at the end of the day, things just keep adding up, and, the mind is such a funny thing that, you start to get overwhelmed at the thought of, so much things to do, Anyway, let me thank each and every one of you for joining in. Hey, Julian. Hey, Dylan743. Thank you for joining. Welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you. It's Thursday the 16th of October. Oh, by the way, are there anyone on my live on TikTok and on YouTube celebrating any birthdays in this my birth month of October? Drop a Y for yes or an N for no. Just ignore the no. Just drop a Y for yes. This is my birth month, so I would like to big up. I'm trying to remember. I remember one that celebrated today. There's another one coming up on the 25th. And then I know of mine's coming up on the 31st. But there is also a gentleman from up the islands that I made connections with, and he followed. We decided to follow each other. I think it's up in the US Virgin Islands or St. Thomas, somewhere up the line there. I'm trying to remember. I know his birthday is coming up. I think it's on the 25th. I'm subject to correction. My brother, if you're there and you're under the sound of my voice, just drop a reminder. Just drop a reminder. Hey, Listra Coffee. Welcome. Folks, kindly share, like, and follow. Hey, Nicole P. Anybody on the live celebrating birthday either today or for the month of October, kindly let me know. So I'm continuing here in the same vein. I want to read to you, from this book, A Short Guide to a Long Life, authored by Davud B. Agus M.D. Experienced, knowledgeable, learned doctor that has simplified as much as he can with data that is scientifically backed on things that we, that you, that me, that us can do to prevent many of the illnesses, sicknesses, and diseases that befalls us as a people. And I would continue to say, and I don't know if it's by design, that some of the most debilitating illnesses, sicknesses, and so befalls us as Black people. Yep. So last time out, I got to chapter 11. Yes? Let me just recap a bit to chapter 11. Chapter 11 states, practice good hygiene in bed and out. Practice good hygiene in bed and out. Hey Glenda, thank you for the like. Thank you for the like. Folks, kindly share, like, and follow. This live is being brought to you simultaneously on both the YouTube and TikTok platforms. A bit late this evening though, but I couldn't just pass up the opportunity not do my lives. I have not gotten back into the groove as yet in terms of doing the physical early in the morning and in my kitchen, but I will certainly go back. I'm just taking time out to take a little rest, a little respite, and get some things done. So by the end of the week into next week, I should be back to my usual self. Yep. Providing you with meaningful, educational, and entertaining content. Yeah. So now, chapter 12 deals with cohabitate. Hey, Harvest Moon, thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome. Where's my peeps? Where are all my peeps on both YouTube and TikTok? Good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you for joining. Last evening we had some viewers, friends, eventually followers from both Russia. We had one from Ecuador, folks. Let us connect. Let us connect. Do not allow the miles, the distance, the language, the culture separate or divide us, because we are all one people. Chapter 12, cohabitate. While at first blush it may seem unlikely that a connection has been found between cohabitation, and folks, you and I'm quite sure we understand what is cohabitation. Yeah, living together. That is my simplified version of it. Yeah, I'm subject to correction. Yeah. While at first blush it may seem unlikely that a connection has been found between cohabitation and longevity, consider the following. When you live with someone else, you have a reason to pay more attention to your health and hygiene. Folks, this statement has me wondering. I never thought of it that way. I never heard about it that way. I believe that you're inclined to pay more attention to that. But the onus is on us individually to take care of our health and well-being. That is how I see it. Respect to his statement here. But it is more pronounced, it can be more pronounced when you are cohabitating. For example, you have a partner, you have a common law, husband or wife, you're married, or you live with your brothers, your mother, etc. Yeah? Again, as I say, the onus is on each and every one of us individually Hey, Nadia Rosenblatt, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hey, Lynette Ford, how are you? Good evening, good night. Hey, Naya, thank you for the like. Welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing this evening? Good night, good morning. You've got another person to hold you accountable for your actions and lifestyle habits. Yes? He says, when you cohabitate, you've got another person to hold you accountable for your actions and lifestyle habits. I certainly concur and agree with that statement. You're less likely to engage in risky behaviors. Is that so? Is that so? And you're more likely to have a built-in system for coping with stress because another warm human body is present in your daily life. Folks, let me just reread that part. You're less likely to engage in risky behaviors, and you're more likely to have a built-in system for coping with stress because another warm human body is present in your life. Is there anyone in the life here that can attest to that? If you come home mad, frustrated, and on the verge of a breakdown, you've at least got a sounding board. I can attest to that. Sometimes you come from work and you just didn't have a good day at work. Yes? And you leave from the workplace to bring that into your home. Well, if you're cohabitating, your spouse, your lover, your significant other could tell a distinct difference in you, could detect that something is right. And so it lends itself to them engage in you to try to find out what the situation is. That is specifically what he's talking about. Yes? That is what Dr. Davud Agus is speaking about. Which might explain why happy cohabitating couples repeatedly score better on blood pressure tests than their single counterparts. Let me read that. Let me just read from page 43 where I started. While at first blush it may seem unlikely that a connection has been found between cohabitation and longevity, consider the following. When you live with someone else, you have a reason to pay more attention to your health and hygiene. You've got another person to hold you accountable for your actions and lifestyle habits. Hey, Delia Miller, welcome, thank you, good evening, good night. Where are you joining the live from? Welcome, welcome. You're less likely to engage in risky behaviors, and you're more likely to have a built-in system for coping with stress because another warm human body is present in your life. If you come home mad, frustrated, and on the verge of a breakdown, you've at least got a sounding board. You've got somebody there that you can share it with. Somebody there that will be willing to listen, give you some advice, comfort you. That is what he's speaking about. Which might explain why happy cohabitating couples repeatedly score better on blood pressure tests than their single counterparts. Hey, Claire Salmon, how are you? Good evening, welcome. Thank you for joining. Whether or not this rule should entail marriage is up to you. He's not saying that you ought to go and get married. because of that, It's entirely up to you. If, because of his utterance, you feel compelled to do that based on your health concerns, then the choice is up to you. Yep. And whether it should include children is another thing to consider. So it's entirely up to you. And folks, I can't help but keep repeating that to every turn in the books, it says you, you. Because the onus is on you, is on me, is on us to step up, to take charge, to not just talk, but to act. I am hoping that my utterances and my actions resonate, encourage, inspires, and motivates you, me, everyone. Hey, Tobago Tight Talk. What's up, brother? How are you? Thank you for joining. Yep. So that was chapter 12. Cohabitate. So there are benefits to cohabitating or cohabitation, living together with someone, a significant other, your wife, your husband, what have you. It helps to ease stress because, as he emphasized and elaborated on, you come from work on any given day, you're not feeling well, you had a hard day at work, you have what was his words? A what board? A sounding board, quote unquote, a sounding board that will be able to absorb, listen, share comfort, give advice, and bring you back down to Mother Earth. Yes? Bring you right back down to Mother Earth. Chapter 13, maintain a healthy weight. Maintain a healthy weight. Before I delve into it, I have heard a long time ago that based on your height, there is a threshold in terms of the weight that is expected, that is, should I say, medically recognized. I believe it has something to do with that, and I'm subject to correction. Yeah. So I remember I recently did a visit to a doctor, and he was telling me that I need to eat a bit more, and he spoke in terms of the types of food that I should eat, because my height, size, and weight is not in sync. Yes, it's just food for thought. Just food for thought. Thank you for the like, Glenda. Thank you for the like. It should come as no surprise that a healthy weight corresponds to a healthy body. When the body is saddled with too many pounds, or on the other end of the spectrum, too few pounds, it cannot function optimally. And folks, I always use this word optimum. Here it says optimally. And I use it when I say most of the time optimum health. I am yet to fully understand what is good health. I always strive and aim for optimum health. The fact that you can get up by God's grace. Hey, Mrs. Hungry, thank you. Thank you for the gift. Welcome. How are you? How was your day? Once I can get up, have the breath of life, be able to move my limbs, see, think, eat, Inhale, exhale. Your senses, your organs, for the most part, everything is operating. That is what I refer to as optimum health. I may be wrong, yeah? But I don't know if there's anybody on the live willing to shed any light on what is good health. What is good health? Yes? I remembered earlier on in the book, it spoke about, the question was asked, what is health? What would you define health as being? So we can always go back on this. Yes? Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the gift, then, Mrs. Hungry. It should come as no surprise that a healthy weight corresponds to a healthy body. When the body is saddled with too many pounds, or on the other hand, too few pounds, it cannot function optimally. Here's another way to look at it. Each pound of weight loss equals 4 pound reduction in the knee load for every step you take. That is so poignant. I know of a few friends, and I've seen persons saddled with the issue of their knees and vis-a-vis their weight. And here it says, here's another way to look at it. Each pound of weight loss equals a 4 pound reduction in the knee load for every step you take. So it does a world of good on your knees. If you can only lose some of the weight, you will be able to carry yourself much more. So if you take 10,000 steps a day, that translates to a 20-ton reduction in the pressure on your knees. Let me repeat. So if you take 10,000 steps a day, that translates to a 20-ton reduction in the pressure on your knees. Think of that. Cumulative effect over a whole year. Think of that cumulated effect over a whole year. Even a small weight loss makes a big difference in the long run. Even a small weight loss makes a big difference in the long run. Folks, just think about it. That is why I'm trying my best to motivate, inspire, and encourage you to empower yourself to join me on this journey to realize optimal. Thank you, Mrs. Hungry. Thank you. Optimum health and well-being, folks. It doesn't have to be that which I do. Running the whole length of the beach, swimming, diving, warming up. Do what you're comfortable with. At your pace. In the comfort of your home, in the yard, in the garden. Walk up the steps. Do a bit of limbering up. You get a rope. If you could do a bit of skipping. I only prescribe in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You can go more if you so choose. 5 minutes. Be disciplined and consistent. That is the only way you will be able to reap and see the rewards or realize the benefits. 5 minutes. Am I making sense? I hope I am making sense. Join me on this journey. Yes, I'm not just talking, but those of you that have been following me, for the past months or so, would see me in action as it relates to that. Yes, I make it a point to do justice to that on the beach where I live, Grandad's Beach. And on my off day on Wednesdays, I do some in my yard. I have a jump rope, I have a little weights, I do some limb burnout. Yes? Consistency and a bit of discipline will see you through. So let us continue. Being overweight increases your risk for virtually all illnesses and chronic conditions, from the obvious ones like heart disease, arthritis, and diabetes, to dementia and cancer. Let me just reread that there, folks. Being overweight increases your risk for virtually all illnesses and chronic conditions, from the obvious ones like heart disease, arthritis, and diabetes, to dementia and cancer. Just a few of the things that can arise from someone that is overweight or obese. You feel sluggish. I have seen, episodes on the TV where you have persons in that situation and their eating habits, yet for all they're trying to stem the tide, because to go to the bathroom is an uphill battle. To get up is an uphill battle. Even trying to get them assistance medically is a challenge, a huge challenge. Yeah? Thank you for the gift, Mrs. Ongi. No, I don't have, Is there any, do you have any that you could recommend? You can DM me. I'll appreciate that. Do you have a walk app that pays you to walk? No, I don't. I don't have. Yep. I never even thought about that. Yep. But if it's something that you're aware of and you can share, by all means, appreciate your interaction, your comments, your assistance any day, every day. Yep. I welcome that, Mrs. Hungry. Thank you. Being overweight increases your risk for virtually all illnesses and chronic conditions, from the obvious ones like heart disease, arthritis, and diabetes, to dementia and cancer. Folks, when I'm seeing here an upsurge of dementia and cancer. Dementia and cancer. Not that it hasn't been here, and we know it's been here for many years, but I guess it's the types of food, and you see a lot of persons aging and they're having this issue with dementia, and there's another one along that line that I forgot, I'm aiming to do some research on that, because I believe a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and if and only if we can start doing the things that would prevent that, reading, engaging the brain. I think it's important to engage the brain, always engage in the brain, have discussions. It doesn't necessarily have to be the discussions that I'm doing there. You have friends, you call, you all go places, interact, always keeping it active, doing something. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just thinking commonsensically that these are some things that will be able to help. Yes, I'm just saying. Yep. But it would be a good thing to do a bit of research to gain some insight as to what causes it and what can be done to prevent it. Don't know if you're at a healthy weight Yes? He's asking the question. Don't know if you're at a healthy weight. Search for a body mass index, what is referred to as BMI. Search for a body mass index calculator and chart online and see how you match up. The goal is to maintain a BMI of between 18.5 and 24.9. The National Heart, Lung and Blood Institute has a good one at http semicolon, is it? Or dot dot, I think I may be incorrect there, dot dot, www.nhlbi.nih.gov/health/educational, it is a lengthy one, /lose _WT /BMI /BMICALCIHTM. Folks, this is a very long one. This is a very long one. Yeah. But if you can really go in online and do a search for a free BMI calculator, yes, you should be able to check and put in information relative to you that will give you that index, your BMI index. Yeah. And if your body type or frame has you feeling stuck higher on the BMI chart, then at least to be sure to maintain fitness, a key antidote is to combating the illness of fatness. Folks, just want to pause for a moment. This live is being brought simultaneously on both the YouTube. My handle on YouTube is Adventures of Lescott, and TikTok, lescott.com. Kindly share, like, follow. I crave the interaction, so let me know where you're joining the live from. Ask any questions, make any comments, suggestions, follow, and ultimately subscribe and share. Thank you in advance. We're going on to chapter 14. Get your annual flu shot, even if you never get sick and have never gotten the flu. I can't recall the last year I have had to take the flu shot. Not that I don't have the cold, the itchiness. Well, I just had it while I was on vacation. And I guess it has to do with the transition from summer into fall and by extension winter, change of climate. The little runny nose, a slight cough and itchiness. But I've never had to take the flu, save and except when I was but a child. Yep. And that's been a very long time. Well, I was tempted to say that, Mrs. Hungry, but I was kind of skeptical of not wanting to say it. I don't believe in it, you know. But, you know, to each his own. To each his own. And I respect that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I really don't. You know, I use the things that I have here by way of medicinal herbs and what have you. You know, we have a lot of things at our disposal that we can use, you know, but again, as I say, to each his own. Yeah. If you could take an inexpensive pill once a year that would help prevent all forms of cancer and has zero side effects, you'd probably consider it. Well, that's what a flu shot has the potential to do. That's what he's saying. If you could take an inexpensive pill once a year that would help prevent all forms of cancer and has zero side effects, you'd probably consider it. Well, that's what a flu shot has the potential to do. That's what he is saying. It's a simple annual vaccine that will go a long way in protecting you from getting terribly sick for days, if not weeks, during which you cannot work, focus, fulfill your household duties, hang out with family, members and friends, and enjoy life as usual. I know of a few persons that have had negative effects from taking the flu shots. I remember here in Grenada many, many moons ago when I was but a child, a boy and still in primary school. You know, it's funny that we in the Caribbean here, they often look at us as sort of a backward, in a sense. Oftentimes you would have a lot of medical doctors and persons coming in to administer injections. And when I look back, I figured in those days we were being used as guinea pigs. I will never forget, I can never forget where we now have the stadium there. I remember that they came in with a gun that will, inject instead of using the syringe and what have you. Again, it must have been something that he was testing because I've never seen or heard about it again. So in those days, we were being used as guinea pigs. Yes? Very, very long time ago, I know of some people that would have that took this jet gun, as they call it, and they have little marks on their shoulders. I think I still have a little mark from one of those things on them. And in those days, I mean, you don't know better. You know, you were encouraged by your parents. You just had to give way, and just go ahead. Yes, we were certainly used as guinea pigs. Yes. No, with the availability of more and more information and more knowledge, we are in a position to think and act differently. So let's continue. But immunizing yourself against influenza isn't just about beating the flu. A mere 1 to 2 weeks of an inflammatory storm, which is what will take place in your body if you contract the flu, can harm you in ways that increase your lifetime risk for obesity and many illnesses, including heart attack, strokes, and cancer. It's funny, folks, and again, my respect to those who would have gone ahead and taken the COVID vaccine. Folks, I found it rather strange, odd, and I just couldn't come to terms with the fact that, look, before we had this pandemic, cancer existed, many other debilitating diseases and so existed. All of a sudden, COVID came, and within about a few months, they came up with a vaccination. I was wary of that. I was wary of that so much, so I never took it. I decided I wasn't going to take this vaccine. At least I had a choice. Because where I once worked, it was not mandatory. Although they did come to ask me if I was going to take it. I told them no. And if it was made mandatory because I was nearing retirement, I would have opted to leave. Give me that which I had and let me go. Because I just couldn't understand why within 2-3 months you come up with a vaccine and you figure it's the best thing. Within 2 to 3 months, are we being used as guinea pigs again? Sorry. But I respect those of you that had to take it because they know how to control us economically, financially, and what have you. Many of you would have had your mortgages, etc. Your families depend on you. So you had no choice. It unalived quite a number of people. It unalived quite a number of persons, a lot of which I knew. Again, as I say, enough respect to those of you who made the decision to take it. That was your choice and your choice only. For years now, the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology have recommended flu vaccines for anyone with heart disease because it's been shown to prevent fatal heart attacks and strokes, even reduce the risk of death from any illness. I never knew that. That's a first for me. So you see, folks, I'm reading to you. You are learning, I am learning. Yes? And this book is so simple, so factual, so suggestive, so full of ideas that you and I can utilize. Maybe even do our own research. In an attempt to realize optimum health and wellness. I thank you, Mrs. Hungry. Thank you, Mrs. Hungry. In 2012, 13 years ago, a study emerged showing that pregnant women who suffer through the flu have a significantly increased risk of having a child with autism. I'm kind of thinking where he's headed. Are we on the same page? I'm thinking he's trying to strengthen his case for the vaccination against the flu, because it probably would help stave off and probably prevent autism in pregnant mothers, pregnant ladies. So imagine what the vaccine can do for a healthy individual hoping to avoid all these ills. See what I was just saying, just speaking about? An idea. Since we know the flu shot has lessened the risk for obesity, perhaps we should campaign for it by saying it will keep you thin. Really? Hey, Priceless, good evening, good night, welcome, how are you? Hope all is well. Sadly, people still cling to false notions that the flu vaccine has side effects, and it does have. Not everyone, but there are those that have had side effects. That it doesn't work, that it can cause the flu, or that it contains toxins or poisoning, and they have a right to do just that. It may not be full blown, but there are persons in our midst that can attest to having negative side effects from taking the flu shots. Malachi, he uses the word Malachi. I don't know what it means. Most disturbing of all is that the people who seem to harbor these irrational notions are often the most educated. Funny thing, huh? It's a real funny thing. He is saying, most disturbing of all is that the people who seem to harbor these irrational notions are often the most educated. To say, I never got a flu shot, and I never get the flu is like declaring I eat cheeseburgers and fries every day, don't exercise, and I've never gotten fat or had a heart attack. It is possible. There is nothing heroic about resisting the flu shot and then powering through the flu if you can contract it. Influenza kills 20,000 to 50,000 people in the US in an average year. That's just the US. And the vaccine reduces deaths, illnesses, the use of antibiotics, and the number of hospital visits. Getting the shot isn't just about you. It can greatly lessen the burdens on our healthcare system and can protect the most vulnerable of all, infants, the elderly, and people with weakened immune systems who cannot benefit from the shot the way most of us can. To hear that fewer than 40% of us get an annual flu shot is maddening. Why should it be maddening? Why should it be maddening though? Isn't it by choice? Who wants to be blamed for fueling an epidemic and killing young children? I rest my case. Yes? That is Davud B. Agus's take on getting your annual flu shot, even if you never get sick and have never gotten the flu. That's chapter 14. So we're taking the last and final chapter for this evening. I want to thank each and every one of you currently on the live, those who viewed, those who shared, those who followed, those who commented, the gifts, Mrs. Hungry, wherever you are, whatever time zone it is. Thank you. This live is being brought simultaneously on both the YouTube and TikTok platform. Kindly share, like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you once again. Chapter 15, it speaks to get naked. Get naked. We throw our clothes on and off daily, during which time we're partially or wholly naked for a few seconds or minutes. And we spend quality time in the shower in our birthday suit. But when was the last time you took a good look at yourself butt naked in front of a mirror, front and back? You'd be surprised by how illuminating this exercise can be. You can spot trouble on the horizon in the form of body oddities that you didn't have before and signs of skin cancer. The skin acts as an indicator of the state of the entire body. Did you know that the skin is the largest organ in the body? Yes, the skin. And external skin discolorations, blemishes, lesions, rashes, blotches, and other unsightly marks can be signs of underlying internal disease. Once in a while, take a visual inventory of every square inch of yourself, including your hair, nails, and the inside of your mouth. Folks, I tell you, this book is so simplified. I am hoping that those of you currently on the live would avail themselves of a copy of this book. It can be either hard or soft copy. Or you can take a gamble on my birthday, the 31st of October, when I'll be offering 2 trivia questions about me, about my journey, things you've seen, things that you can identify with me. For the gift of one of these books. I have 5 to give away, and it would be coming to you free of cost. The choice is yours. Yes? Only 5. Yes, that is my gift to you, my dedicated followers, fans, viewers. Yes, for embarking with me on this journey. Yes, I only just began. September the 14th gone with me 1 year. I was initially apprehensive, frightened, but I can tell you this, at this point in time, I feel at home interacting with you, engaging with you, sharing with you, whether it's in my country here, mainland Grenada, Cargo, Petit-Matic, the Caribbean, wherever you are, I feel at home. Thank you for affording me that luxury and that comfort. Yes? So let us continue. So the skin is an indicator of internal issues. Yes? Take time out. Let me just give you a little insight. On my birthday, I aim with help and strength every year to take out a photo. To take out a photo and do a journal, chronicling everything that I would have done from the time I get up till the end of the day when I go to bed. Because your features changing. You mightn't see it, there will be subtle things that changes. So for me, it's a way to look back with health and strength and see the progression. Only the face. But naked is for a different place, a different time. Yep. Just my features, my face. Yes. It's probably something that, you can think about and think something that you can do. Yep. So once in a while, take a visual inventory of every square inch of yourself, including your hair, nails, and inside your mouth. You can also get an honest sense of how well you are aging based on your physical appearance alone. It just adds, I just strengthen that which I just said in terms of taking out a picture. Yep. And you don't necessarily have to go to a photographer, Your phone, you can use your phone. Yep. But if you so choose to go, that route, fine with you, Is your overall skin tone and set of wrinkles reflective of someone your age? Do you look older than your chronological age? Do you look older than your chronological age? And can you use this moment to gather measurements that can help you track the progress you're making by changing your habits? Measure your waist and see it get smaller. Start a skincare routine that nourishes the health of your skin and keeps you examining your skin regularly. Or maybe just tell yourself that you're beautiful and doing okay. Self-esteem, reassuring yourself. Say an affirmation as you stand there naked and accept who you are. You are unique. There is only one like you. We all know that having a strong sense of self and being comfortable in our own skin will go a long way to keeping us healthy and psychologically strong. Powerful words by this experienced, knowledgeable, learned MD individual. Scientifically backed facts, data, and figures. I urge you to lay your hands on a copy of this book, folks. Lay your hands on a copy of this book. Yep. Let me thank each and every one of you for joining, for participating, interacting, sharing, liking. Those of you who possibly would have followed, thanks for the gift, Mrs. Hungry. Thank you a million. Thank you for your interaction as always. I am aiming to continue throughout this month, every day, sharing excerpts or passages from this book. Yes, I have not gotten back into the groove just yet by way of doing my physicals early in the morning and in my kitchen. It's just a matter of a few days. I will do likewise. Yes, I have already foreseen a hectic few weeks and months upcoming. Yep, by way of content creation. Yes, I hope that the Almighty will give me the health and strength so that I can provide you with meaningful, educational, and entertaining content. The likes that can and will ultimately hope to engage you and empower you, to encourage you, to motivate you and inspire you, especially my brothers, the male folk in our midst. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is where I say goodbye, good night, good morning to each and every one of you. I hope that your Friday is an enjoyable one, a productive one, and a safe one. And I look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye for now.